Hello, it's Randy Duck and we're back for another replay, this time in the AMX CDC Black, the French Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank. We've only got one replay this time, but I think this replay is good enough to have just the one. And this is a tank which I really love, and I think it gets so much hate. Like, it's so underrated. Like, a lot of people really underrate this tank, and to be honest with you, I mean, I've always found it really good. Obviously it has no armour, but that's fine. I mean, who needs armour? Like, just you know, just move, just don't get hit. I mean, I guess. But yeah, what you make up with the no armour is you get the mobility basically, and a really quite decent gun. It's only like a single shot. I think it's like a 240 alpha gun, but yeah, with the mobility, just the way this, it's hard to describe, but the way this tank feels with the gun depression, mobility, and the way you are to just get to different locations quickly, I've really liked it, and I definitely think it should get some love. I mean, a lot of people seem to think it's like really bad. I disagree, and I generally do disagree. I think it's a good tank. But anyway, we're on Sand River. Now, you're going to notice I'm going to do something here. Nothing was spotted, but there's always things sitting in those bushes. So you see there, I just took one little pop shot and I got an extra pen. You know, and if I would have done that in something like a grill or something like that, I would have had a lot of damage in those two shots. But then again, I thought, right, tried that bush, I tried the next bush. So that's now 2 pens I've got just for complete free. So that's something there just for you guys to bear in mind. I would say, honestly, I would probably go as much out as like 9 times out of 10. I've shot at one of those bushes and I've got a pen. Yeah, honestly, it happens so much. It's so predictable. People sit there all the time because it's sort of a nice little camping spot for them. So it's always worth, you know, if you can't spot them, just have a little pop shot. You see I'm doing it again now. I don't think I'll get any more blind this time, but I've got loads of ammo in this tank, so it's, you know, it's worth it to take those little shots. It's something I've started to pick up a lot more of recently. It's just you can kind of predict where people stay a lot of the time. There's a lot of positions where you always get someone, not just on this map, on most maps, and you can. It's a situation where I seem to always just get free damage just by shooting in the known locations and the known bushes. So that's something to pick up on. Now, as you say, we are bottom tier on this game, and this game we end up having, what I quite like about it is we get in a situation where we get a friendly tank on our team. We get to have a little bit of communications between us, and sort of almost play together, even though we've got no mic and we've never met before. And that's something which is a rarity on this game. So when it happens, it is quite nice. Now, it is a little bit later on in the game, and we will get to that. But for the meantime, I've tried to make the most out of this position. Nothing's really happening, so I'm thinking, you know what, I want to move in and try and get a bit more damage, try and make something happen, because that sort of position at the moment is sort of run its use. So I've moved up to their ridge, well, the middle ridge, if you like. There is no fun police in this game, which is, you know, something which can hurt the CDC quite a lot, but I have been known to be one bombed by the RT because you do have no armour, so that does help. But I put myself in this position so I could try and get shots of the guys at like A2, A3, because our team's not really pushing them, and I want to try and just get rid of them to make something happen in this game. So that's why I've moved to this position. I do have to be careful, because you notice I did get shot by a defender which has no gun depression, so it would have really had to overpeak to get that shot in for me, and it didn't really get punished. But it's okay, because I'm now, you know, he's sort of gone back down. He's not shooting at me, but that's why I've got the small map on at the moment, just so I want to be really alert if something does come up. I'm aware of that, just so that I can keep trying to get as many shots into these guys, because at the moment they're facing this heavy tank in front of them, and it's kind of me putting most of the work into them, trying to get rid of them, because they can't deal with the angles, and that's generally how you kill most tanks, especially sort of things like an Object 279E. If the frontal armour can be a little bit troll, You know, if you're not firing heat, etc. at it. So it's good that I was trying to, you know, get rid of him so our team could, you know, hopefully maybe move forward really and just get this game going. But like I say, I do have to be careful that I don't, you know, people don't over peak on me and get shot into the side. Like I say, there is a few, you know, there's like 4 TDs, like higher tier TDs on this game. So it's something, you know, I have to be aware of. That I've got no armour, so if they touch me, I die. And things like the E4, E3s, if I've got HE, they could easily pen me with the HE. And yeah, they can potentially kill me with the HE right now. So that is something to bear in mind. So that's why I've decided, you know what, I'm going to, again, that position has kind of outweighed its uselessness to me. And this is why I like this tank, because you can see how quickly you can relocate in this with this tank. It doesn't really struggle with terrain. And that's why I like it anyway, because it just kind of suits me and how I like to play. Just keep relocating, keep moving back to different locations. I decided to move back because I didn't feel safe there anymore, just by the position of our team. And I was thinking I might have had to defend the base potentially, and I could have from here. It can be quite a good location to get shots into the base. But this medium tank's now popped up. He was probably overextended and he got really punished for that, and we take him out. And we're now just going to move back to where he was, because, and this is the thing, he doesn't really cost, you know, moving to these different locations, going backwards and forwards. You could do this quite happily in this tank. And yeah, obviously on certain small city maps, etc., that's not going to help us. But on maps like this, it can be really nice. So I'm just looking for shots of the guys crossing to go towards our base. You see, it's pretty even, isn't it? It's a 4-4 game at the moment, and he does get, he does go touch and go this game. So we're going to try and go back and see if we can get some shots on the tanks, which I kind of think are, we know one was heading towards our base anyway. We know that because we spotted him. But I was kind of guessing like where the other guys were. This SU didn't get spotted, which I'm thinking maybe might have been the guy I was shooting at the start through the bushes. We get a shot, trying to get a shot through the driver, which we do. Then we're hoping we can finish him off. We know he's still there, and we do, and we pick him up. That puts us up to sort of 3,500 damage, 1,500 assistance. So considering this is a bottom tier game, not been a bad game. It's enough to go up on my, I've already free marked it anyway, but it would be enough to move my mark of excellence. So it has been quite a nice game, but they've now got 2 people in the cap. We've only got 30 seconds, and this is the start point on the game where we get a little bit of teamwork going on between me and this pattern you'll see in front of me. It's sort of the start of it. So they've got 2 in the cap. Now we're going to go up for the resets. Now what I do, because I've got the speed, the mobility, while he's distracted and there, I'm moving to create a second angle, but I can see I can kill this one shot Italian, which I do. Now it's just the push. Now I'm thinking, we've got an E3, which I knew was in the lower sort of bowl area, if you like, in the middle of the map. I didn't want to sit where I was because he could come behind me and then shoot me from behind. So I decided to create a secondary angle with this pattern, forcing the posh, to either focus one of us. Now at this point I took a shot there and I kind of thought he might have been on a reload, and it was a bit of a mistake, as you can see, because that's now put me in a one shot. I kind of thought he was going to reload. I thought he might have been trying to shoot at my pattern. Now that was a mistake, and it has now made this game very difficult for me because I've only got 100 health. But this is where it's good. The pattern's now coming up to take another angle, and this is going to really help us basically. You see there, he's now focusing on the pattern. I'm able to get a shot into him. He's now turning around, and then our pattern's able to take him out. So that between us, which is quite nice, because you don't often get people. Well, it's hard. I don't have to be careful what I say here, but generally when I play most random games, I tend to find it very difficult to get anyone to do the logical thing. Like to me, that was quite logical. We've got to create 2 different angles, and then we can kill him. If we're both sat in the same position, that Fosh is an autoloader. He could potentially kill both of us, and we're both looking at him. You've got to spread out. especially with tanks like this in the CDC Black, because you don't have good armour, you know, you can't trade shots like that. It's not that type of tank. It's a type of tank where you use your mobility to get to different angles, and that's how you get your damage. Now we're on 4,000 damage, 1,500 odd assistance, so it's been a really decent game. Now we've got to be careful now, because Armour one-shots this E3, yeah, which is the last tank left. Now I know he was fairly healthy. I last spotted him in the sort of in the dip in the middle of the map, but I don't know where he's gone anymore. So I'm trying to find him. Like I say, I do have to be careful. I don't really want to die and leave this guy in a 1 versus 1, because it's a sort of situation you never know what's going to happen with E3. It's got really decent armour. If you do manage to get behind it, then obviously it's going to be an easy kill. If you can get in the trap, we'll get behind it, because you know he's going to have. Doesn't have a turret, so it's just he's dead. But if he's backed into a corner, it could be awkward, because his frontal armour on the E3 is very, very strong, and you're going to struggle to penetrate it. So we do need to, you know, try and work together. Now at this point here, I'm just trying to find him. I really don't know where he's gone. He might have been going back to my base. I'm not worried about him capping me out, because I've got loads of time to get back, you know, for reset, so he did go there. But I do need to try and find him. And now, fortunately for me, our Pat in the house now spotted him. He has camped in a base. But now we were both on a one-shot to him, so we do have to be careful. But this is the beginning of the teamwork, because this E3, you could say he's done a smart play here. You know, he's realised that he doesn't want to be in a situation where he gets flanked, and he's gone right into the corner of the map, making himself as tough to deal with as possible. Now, I know this is where we're going to have to work together. So what I do here, I realise we're both too much in angles. You see there, I message to C1 where I was telling him to go to, and he actually, no, this is incredible. In a pub game, he's affirmative, you know, what to do. He's got the same plan, and now what we're going to do is create 2 different angles. I'm going to patiently wait until he gets into location, and this is how we're going to be able to take him out and dig this guy out of the hole. I'm going to try and proxy spot him. I've got to be careful, because he is, he was hard aiming me, so I don't want him to just snap me when I go around the corner, but I do need to spot him, because I need to know what way he's looking. But you can see my other friendly pattern spots him, and this is just a game of patience, waiting for him to turn his attention to my friend in the pattern, and then we can get shots in. The idea is to try and get shot into his track wheel. Now this is a mistake. I snapshot that, and that was silly. I had more time than I thought. I could have got a shot into his track wheel, but I do get a shot in the track wheel there, but he then repairs it, and now he's focusing me. But the plan was, I was thinking if he was focusing me, then the pattern should, I can't physically see what he can see from that location, but I was guessing he would have shots into the side. Unfortunately, he does seem to be struggling to penetrate him, so I'm going to have to hope that he's going to turn. Maybe the angle was, maybe he doesn't quite have the angle for there, but I thought he might have done. But he is now turning. I go for a shot for the track wheel again. I really want to track him in place, but I think this guy's got a fairly decent crew in this E3, so I doesn't keep him in long enough for me to perma track him. That would have been the ideal scenario, making it easy for us to take out. And like I say, I don't want to die at this point, because that would have put us both in one shots, and then you never know what's going to happen. But there is only 1 minute on the clock, and I do really want to kill this guy. He's now shot and missed, so this is giving me all the time in the world. I'm going to go for the track first, just to try and track him in place. I don't track him, but I do penetrate him because of the weak side armour of the E3. We now get another shot through his side. He's only on 400 hit points left. We get him another shot in, pen him in place, leaving him on a one shot now. But he is now focusing me, so at this point I've got to wait again for him to turn. I'm hoping the other guy is going to penetrate him. But what's happened is he realised he obviously can't pen and he's low, so he's just swapped to HE, and now he's just going to HE him to death. So at this point, I kind of want the kill to be greedy, but yeah, he's shot and missed, so I know I've got time, so I've got time to aim this and penetrate this shot. but unfortunately I do bounce it. Like I say, it does have weak, it's a good frontal armour, but the patterns then put HE into him and taking them out. And yeah, that's it for this game. But I just thought it shows what this tank can do. I mean, for a bottom tier game, 3 kills, 5,000 damage in this, and 1,500 resistance is, you know, a really decent game. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I thought it was just quite nice to have a game where you get a little bit of teamwork with a friendly in there. Unfortunately, I couldn't message him because it was on PlayStation. But if you are watching this, well done. Thanks for the good game. And as always, happy tanking.